The first sound I heard in this life was the soft hum of rain. It was gentle, like a whisper from the past calling my name. A past I had sworn I'd never relive. My body felt small, weak, yet painfully aware. As my blurred vision adjusted, I saw the faces of the people I once knew. People who had thrown me away like I was nothing. My rich parents. My so-called family. The ones who abandoned me for being unfit to carry their name. And now, I was back. Back to the moment they came to take me home. In my previous life, I had begged for their love. I had tried to prove my worth to them, to blend into their world of chandeliers and diamond smiles. I studied until my body broke, smiled until my face hurt, and obeyed until I forgot who I was. But in the end, they discarded me again, replaced by another, perfect daughter. And when I finally took my last breath in that cold, lonely hospital room, I promised myself if I ever had another chance, I'd never crawl back again. And here I was, reborn, standing once again in that same orphanage office. The same lawyer smiling awkwardly as he said, "Miss Lynn, your parents have come for you." I looked at them, tall, elegant, expensive. My father's sharp gaze inspected me like I was a product he'd purchased. My mother's perfectly painted lips curved into a polite smile, the kind that never reached her eyes. "We've come to bring you home, dear," she said softly. Last time, I had cried in joy, throwing my little arms around her waist. This time, I simply smiled and whispered, "Thank you. But I don't want to go." The room went silent. The lawyer blinked in confusion. My mother's smile froze, her hand tightening around her designer purse. "What did you just say?" I looked her dead in the eye. I said, "I'm fine here." In my last life, that sentence would have never left my lips. But this wasn't the same life anymore. I wasn't the desperate little girl who longed for scraps of affection. I was someone who had lived, suffered, and died. I had seen what their world really was. A golden cage filled with knives. The lawyer tried to reason with me, reminding me of the opportunity I was rejecting. But I just smiled. "Some opportunities," I said softly, "cost too much." That night, I sat by the orphanage window and looked at the rain again. My small reflection stared back at me, fragile but determined. I didn't know how, but I promised myself I'd carve a new path this time. One built not on wealth or family names, but on my own strength. Still, fate has a cruel way of testing you. The next morning, the Lin family sent a luxury car to fetch me anyway. The orphanage director, desperate for funding, begged me to reconsider. "Sweetheart, they're your family," she pleaded. I finally agreed, but not because I wanted their love. I wanted closure. I wanted to face the people who had destroyed me, but this time, on my terms. When the gates of the Lin mansion opened before me again, memories hit me like a wave. The same marble floors, the same chandelier glittering above, and the same coldness in the air. My older brother, Ethan, stood by the staircase. In my previous life, he had been the only one who'd shown me a little kindness. Until the day he betrayed me for the family's favor. His eyes met mine now, filled with something unreadable. "You're back," he said quietly. "No," I answered. "Just visiting." At dinner, they pretended everything was normal. My mother complimented my posture. My father spoke about my future education. I played along, listening quietly, watching them carefully. I saw through their masks. The cracks in their perfect family. The arguments they hid. The secrets they thought no one knew. And as days passed, I discovered something darker. They hadn't taken me back out of guilt or love. They took me back for business. A merger. My existence gave their company a family-friendly image to win a massive contract. The realization burned in my chest, but I stayed silent. Because this time I had a plan. While pretending to be their obedient daughter again, I began collecting proof. Financial records, hidden documents, conversations they thought I couldn't hear. I knew where this path ended last time, with me being discarded and blamed for their mistakes. But not this time. This time, I'd be the one to walk away, and make sure they couldn't touch me again. Weeks later, their secret broke out. I leaked everything anonymously, their embezzlement, their fake charity funds, their lies. The world that once praised them turned against them overnight. Their company stocks crashed, their reputations crumbled. When the police came for them, my mother looked at me in disbelief. You did this." I met her gaze with calm eyes. "No, I said softly. You did this to yourself. The last thing I saw before I left the mansion was Ethan standing by the doorway. He didn't stop me this time. He just whispered, "You're free now." And I was. I walked out into the morning light, the same world that had once chewed me up and spat me out. This time, it felt new. The air was sharp and alive against my skin. I didn't have money, or family, or security. But I had something far more powerful. My freedom. Months passed. I started working part-time at a small cafe, studying at night, building a life that was truly mine. It wasn't easy. It was raw, imperfect, sometimes lonely. But it was real. And every morning when I looked at my reflection, I smiled, knowing that I had finally chosen myself. People say rebirth is a gift. But it's also a test. It's not given so you can change others. It's given so you can change yourself. If you ever get the chance to start over, don't chase the same people who broke you. Don't return to the same pain hoping for a different ending. Cut the ties. Walk your own road. Because sometimes, the greatest revenge is living the life they told you you'd never have. And this time, I was finally living it.